let's talk about the New Orleans Saints. Off to a great start, 2-0. They went to Dallas and kicked booty, whatever you want to call it. They worked the Dallas Cowboys over like a burger and fries. I mean, they were just like ridiculous.
When you look at what they've done over the first two games, Rob, 91-29 in favor of them versus their two opponents. 91-29. So we've been talking about the offense being down. It has been.
For most of the league.
For most of the league. Guys you expect to put up crazy numbers. Quarterbacks aren't doing it. I don't know if Derek Carr's on a revenge tour. I don't know if he thought he was Roy Jones Jr. Y'all must have forgot or something.
Derek Carr can play. He just with
But
the
that's
Raiders,
what I'm saying. Is he trying to remind us?
When they ran him out of Vegas, that was awful. It really was, because Derek Carr can play, and we all know that. I'm not saying he's the greatest quarterback to walk the earth, but he can play. And now he's in New Orleans, and they're balling out.
They are.
The Saints are averaging 45.5 points per game. So far, the most points in the NFL by more than 10 points.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Okay, New Orleans has posted 91 points, tied for the second most points in the first two games of a season. You ready? Since the NFL-AFL merger in 1970. That's according to NFL research. And here's another one. Each of the prior two teams to score as many points or more. The 2009 Saints scored 93 points, and the 1971 Dallas Cowboys scored 91 points. And guess what? Those two teams both won. They didn't go to the Super Bowl. Yep. They both won the Super Bowl. So right here, I've just told you that Shohei's Fugazi, and I got some issues with the bases and all that, but I'm going to tell you this. When I ask about, is this bologna or filet? This is filet. It is not bologna.
This is, what is it, Belterre, the restaurant? This is Mastro's. This is Wagyu.
Wagyu.
Whatever you want to.
I thought that was spaghetti. Oh, that's ragu.
Yeah, ragu. Right. And by the way, nobody gets ragu anymore.
No?
You got to get to, is it, how do you pronounce it, Rob? Is it Rao? R-A-O? What's the one everybody? Rouse? So
ragu is that a
Pregu,
no name?
Ragu, boo-boo. Okay.
Oh, is that right?
You got to get Rouse. Now you're gonna look at Pregu. It's gonna be like $3.99.
I can't pronounce Rouse.
You just said it. Look at you, Rouse. Rouse is gonna be like $12.
No, I'm not buying.
But it's worth it.
I'm not $12 for spaghetti sauce.
It ain't just spaghetti sauce, bro. This is really it's
$12.
It's pasta sauce.
It's pasta sauce.
Not spaghetti.
And also, you got to stop acting like you broke.
What?
You got 17 jobs. Okay, you got to stop acting like you broke. Right, walking around here with a Jordan hoodie on with Fox Sports Radio, you can step your food game up.
I'm just $12 for
that. Might be my one mission. I want to have an amazing tenure with you. I want the show to go great. I want people to love it. I want it to be the best that it can be. But I also want to leave this show making you a better person. Okay?
Okay, that's a tall order.
It is. Well, call me Yao Ming.
Okay.
Because dang it, you're about to start eating better. And then we'll work on the Worship Wednesday. We'll get there eventually.
I want to see what we do.
We'll get you closer to Lord. But I want to go back to a couple things.
Where are you?
This is for sure
right?
filet.
I mean, I don't see anything that's
I'm going to tell you why it's also filet. Because you're getting, you know what it is? It's when you go to a great restaurant and you can get it whatever you want, however you want it. You want to run? Well, Alvin Kamara is averaging like 115 yards a game.
He's balling out, absolutely.
Almost 6 yards a carry he's averaging. You want to pass? Well, you know what Derek Carr has been doing. You saw what they did to Dallas's defense. They went six straight drives, and it wasn't fluky drives. Say Dak Prescott
six on the road.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Like say Dak fumbles on his own 20, and that was easy. They were going 80, 69, 80, 70, 8, like whatever you want, however you want it. And so you got to give some love to offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak, I should say. I'm sorry.
Right.
Clint Kubiak's coming in there on a mission. He's got them playing well. He's got them whatever he did during the offseason, other NFL teams didn't do. And I like what I'm seeing from them, again, from the versatility. It's passing. It's running. They're fired up.
It's a balanced attack. It's not one-dimensional. And to go into Dallas, now remember, Dallas before that playoff loss, that home playoff loss to Green Bay, had won 16 straight games. Mm-hmm. So they got their butts kicked in that. So they had reason at home, but they had reason to want to play their first home game and rectify like that poor performance, right?
Yep.
So they were playing for that as well. Micah Parsons, everybody's like, oh, he's the next LT. We could stop that conversation for now. And that defense.
Yeah, he's I want him on my team any day, but he's not that guy. He's not TJ Watt. It don't matter who's blocking him. Hutchinson, don't matter who's blocking him. You see what they do.
And I'm saying they had something, the Dallas defense, to play for, right? Because they got beat the last time they were there and embarrassed at home. And the Saints came out and walked all over them. There was nothing that they could do.
It was embarrassing. And credit the Saints. Defense, right? I mean, they reminded us that aside from CeeDee Lamb, a connection there between Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, that nice pass, and
even that was fluky because the two
they were right there. They
ran into each other, and that opened up CeeDee to catch the ball, turn up field, and go.
You take that away, they might have been even more brutal. And so you got to credit the Saints defense as well. Listen, man, the Saints, they're marching in right now. They look like a real quality team. They don't look fluky. This doesn't look like an accident. This doesn't look like week 8, we're like, oh, they're terrible. Now they're 2-6. Not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but that number you show was great. And also, I'll say this too with the Dallas Cowboys, Rob, 12-6 last year. 3 of their 6 losses were blowouts. So I don't know if this just is the Dallas, hey, we're losing, we're just going to lose big. We don't care anymore. I don't know what that is. But when they lose, they lose.
No, I get that. And there are people saying that and trying to use that as an excuse. But I'm just what the Saints have been able to do. And here's why you should feel good if you're a Saints fan. Because it's not just the offense where they just, blowing everybody out. But also the Saints defense is 4th in scoring, right? And 4th in total and 7th in total defense and 2nd in takeaway. So they're making things happen defensively. And that's what you want to be able to have is if you have a good defense and then you're able to score points, you're going to be in a good position. And they're off to a great start, 2-0. And that win in Dallas, I remember picking that game and I thought that they would cover, it was like 8.5 or so. It was a big spread. And for them to do what they did, I'm impressed by where the Saints are.
So go to the opposite for me, though, with the Cowboys. Just a loss. Gonna be all right throughout the season.
No, the Cowboys got issues. They can't run the football. Okay, Ezekiel, and that too, and they can't stop anybody. But they can't run the football either. They got Ezekiel Elliott, 2 years removed, who shouldn't be on the team that they paid in food stamps. I mean, none of it makes sense that he's back with the Cowboys. You know why? Because he was cheap.
He was cheap, and
but it's ridiculous.
You mentioned about the food. Remember he used to do his eating thing, the little eating celebration. Right. He ain't eating no more. He is not eating. 56 yards. He's tied with the lead for the leading rusher in the team after 2 games. Rob Parker,
56 yards.
56 yards. That is embarrassing, and that's what happens when you go back and spin the block. So all you fellas listening right now, you left old girl, you moved on, don't go spin the block. It might not be as good as you thought it was. Well, every now and again you might have to go spin the block because sometimes dudes mess around and lost a good thing.
Yeah.
You ever spin the block? Go back to an old thing and try to get that old thing back?
Once or twice.
No comment?
No, once or twice.
Okay.
I'm trying not to go backwards in life. I really do. But once or twice.
No, you got to go back. Yeah, you got to go back every now and again.
Yeah, once
Get that old thing back.
Yeah.
And the Dallas tried it, and it surely's not working.
But the Saints are marching in.
Without a doubt.
I don't know how you can look at the Saints and not feel good about the start.
Hey, where's the Super Bowl this year?
And the Super Bowl is in New Orleans.
I'm just saying.
So just like Tampa Bay when they played.
There you go.
The first team to play in
and then the Rams did. So we had it happen. Boom, boom, boom.
A couple of times, and now it could be the Saints.
Maybe now it's just a trend. Let's head on down. We're going to New Orleans, right? We're going to New Orleans regardless of even if it's not the Saints.
We're going to New Orleans.
All right. Don't have me out on Bourbon Street acting a fool.
No,
okay?
yeah. We're going to have a good time, Rob G, right? We'll just make sure you keep tabs of Kelvin's expenses because don't get crazy. You know what I mean?
By me, he means himself because we know about you.
What?
We know about you.
I'm by the book. I never.
It ain't the good book.
Yeah, I never get called into the HR. Everything's good.
It ain't the good book.